diet.
Good evening and welcome to February 23rd, 2017 Planning Board meeting. The first item is a site plan for Romano on River Road. I got an email from Mr. Siciliano requesting an extension until March 23rd. So if we can make a motion.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. So a butter's here for Romano. There won't be any more public notice, but the meeting will be next month on the 23rd, same time.
Which one?
So I guess no. Before we get to the second item, I'd like to make a motion we can go into non-public under 91A3, 91A:3, Roman numeral 2E. So I can have a second?
Second question, is that necessary to do at this time?
Yes.
Thank you.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Abstained? Sorry guys, you gotta leave.
Temporarily.
Temporarily, non-public.
You might want to say it's a letter from town.
Yeah, it is a letter from town council.
Yeah. I've shut this off, right?
Yes.
Okay.
They have to agree to move it or define it as someplace else, whoever they are. So you have to get a hold, you have to find out who owns it. Well, the issues are the location, the ownership of the cemetery, and the
I thought that
location
was something
of-
that that was one of the things that you were going to figure out during that meeting you were having. The ownership, I thought that was something that you guys were kind of talking about.
we talked about it, but our job is not to figure out who owns the cemetery. That's your
Okay.
job is to figure out the butters owners.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think the only thing we figured out was the town doesn't own it.
Right.
Right. Because we
We
keep
will-
going back and forth on that. We haven't gotten
We
anywhere,
don't
so-
know that. We don't.
Yeah.
We don't have a deed to the town. Put it that
Okay.
way. Pre-32.
So if we never get to a conclusion to that, what do we do? I mean,
If you can't determine through
Yeah.
various deeds and documents who the ownership is or location, I would suggest you do a quiet title.
to myself.
No,
So-
a quiet title is petition the court for quiet title
Okay.
to either one, you can do it one of two ways, and this is either you're getting good title to everything excluding the cemetery as shown here,
Yeah.
or you're taking good title to the whole thing including the cemetery.
Okay.
Either way, and make sure when you're doing the quiet title, you define this easement.
Okay. And then what about the
In the meantime, we really can't work on it.
That's fine.
act on it.
That's fine. What about the location thing?
That would be solved in the quiet title.
Okay, because that's another thing that, I mean, and that was something that was, I went to the zoning board,
Mm-hmm.
and, I mean, we've pretty much kind of said where the location of it is. I mean, the surveyor said, has had markings and all that,
Mhm.
and then the guy on the zoning board is just kind of saying, well,
Well,
you don't know where it is. Well,
The
we
surveyor does have a note disclaiming his location of the cemetery,
right. This,
saying it's, how's he say it? Has done its best to show the current location with limited physical evidence, which seems to have been disturbed. And
well, yeah, I mean,
remember-
somebody is completely disturbed the gravestones and
I
all.
understand. I remember Mr. Blaisdell saying that any
Yeah.
surveyor would put the line within 3 or 4 feet of where he shows it.
Right, and that wasn't okay for the zoning guy, so
Right.
I guess I go back to how, to what extent are we gonna go to with this? I mean, with that, and how, like, it gets to the point where, to what extent do you need the location? And if he said that it is within that, fine.
He's not saying that right now.
Well, he did, he said within 3 feet. I mean, what's wrong with 3 feet?
Oh, you're supposed to be able to certify your boundaries within 1 to 10,000 air. 3 feet is nowhere near the right.
1 to what?
1 to 10,000.
Okay,
So
I mean, if
so
we.
you have a line 10,000 feet long, it might be 9,999 feet long. So your air is a lot less than 3 feet. Your air is I'm not gonna do the calculation, but in 50 feet, it's probably like .005 feet or something like that.
Okay. Because, I mean, we're not right up against it. I mean, we're 25 feet away, so.
Well, yeah, maybe.
within-
Maybe you're 22 feet away,
Okay, but we're still not on it.
but you're supposed to be 25 feet away.
So do we need to be,
Well, there's
because we're trying to get that variance for going too close to the wetlands, right? So, I mean, do we need to say that we're,
I'm not even worried about the variance.
Okay.
Right now, from the planning board perspective, your surveyor is not saying this is exactly where the cemetery is. None of the documents say where the cemetery is.
plus or minus 3 feet?
Right.
Where's this 3 feet?
He
That's what he said,
That's
that's what he
his
said, I
testimony.
mean,
It's not on the map.
No, he said that in a hearing.
yeah. Like I said, I mean, I don't know how far you have to go with that to make it so that, I mean,
Either way, we still have the easement, the access to worry about. You can't just take somebody's access and say it's here.
well, what is, that's a new thing, that you just came up with that from 2 days ago.
Somebody has ownership to the cemetery,
Okay, well, what's the access thing? That's new.
and somebody has access to the cemetery.
Right.
So you can't define somebody else's access or redefine without their approval.
We
We
never, I don't think we had an access issue until today. You just came up with that. I think, because we were talking about the distance and we were talking about the ownership.
Right.
The
so there's-
access
there's-
thing was-
There's three issues, so the ownership, the location,
So you're
and
saying
the access.
the access kind of has to
Well-
do with the ownership, I guess, is what you're saying.
Yes.
So as if
We
I resolve one,
realized
that
it too
kind
for
of.
quite a while, we thought the town owned the cemetery. But the town doesn't.
Yeah, okay.
So things change when we don't know who the ownership is. All of a sudden
Okay,
we're-
and so we have not really defined access or where it is. So you're saying when I do this quiet title thing, that's going to resolve the access issue as well?
If you petition the court to do that, yes.
Yeah,
It should.
okay.
I'm not an attorney. I'm not trying to give you legal advice. That's,
Right. And we still go back to the location and when you are gonna be satisfied. I mean, and which is where I go back to the 3 feet thing. If we're.
well, there's a cloud in your title right now, accepting or reserving the cemetery and the access to it.
Okay.
You gotta define that.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. So we've established that part
You
of
have to
it.
eliminate that cloud in your
Okay.
title.
Okay, well, that's fine. We've established that part of it. So now we go
I
back to
don't
the.
think he's saying that you have.
Right, we've established that part of the fact that I need to deal with that.
Right.
Okay, but the distance thing, I still don't think we're on the same page of where we need to go with it. I'm trying to figure out what I need to do to make you guys happy. So, I mean, because there's only so much of a definitive answer before we get to the point of someone doing some kind of sonar situation that makes it like, I mean,
I would hope that your attorney filing the petition for quiet title
yeah,
defines an area,
the attorney.
yes, in the petition.
Okay,
If the court grants your petition, you will have clear title to the land. If the
defined
description,
in a certain area.
correct.
But it's not gonna say what, I mean, the attorney's gonna word it with that 1/10,000, it's a 1/10,000.
The attorney should exclude the boundaries around.
How is he gonna be able to be confident to do that?
That's up to your surveyor to
Okay.
convince him he's being confident. If he's already
Okay,
says 3 or 4
so if
feet,
the attorney says it's okay, then
to
we're,
make
yeah.
it
Okay.
3, well, the attorney's working for you. You gotta
Yeah.
convince the judge.
Right,
It's not the attorney, it's the judge you gotta convince.
okay,
And that's a long process, by the way, 9 months to a year, probably.
mhm,
So my recommendation right now is either withdraw your application, we can continue it indefinitely, or we can act on it tonight if you want us to.
act on it, well, if you act on it tonight, then, and you said no, if something doesn't change, well,
If
If
we
I
act
go-
on it tonight and you're denied, you would have to resubmit at a later date,
right,
or you withdraw and you get resubmit at a later date, or you get continued to a date uncertain. You basically come back and pay to re-notify the abutters and your application's going again.
hmm,
That's what we were advised by our counsel.
I see. And in the end, I still have to go get a variance for that distance situation anyway.
Depends where the cemetery is.
Depends where the cemetery
So
is.
until you get the quiet title, you have no idea what that variance is for.
The exact distance.
Right.
We'd be pretty exact at that point, I guess.
Once you
Yes.
get the criteria with those three things addressed, then you would know
Mm-hmm.
what you need to apply for, I guess.
Okay.
And it's possible that you don't even need a variance, depending on where the cemetery is.
Right. Right. Yeah. I mean, the other option is I could get one large lot across the back and take almost no time and not need anything.
Well, except, and I actually mentioned that to the attorney, that you could cut off the easterly lot.
Well, because the first driveway up on the southern end of it, you could go in and you could have the whole back, and you could have one lot, and then you could have the existing, and I would think that you wouldn't have any questions with that.
Except the attorney mentioned you have no idea how they get to the cemetery.
Yeah.
The existing rights may go through.
Right.
We have no idea.
Yeah. So we have to deal with the situation first, pretty much.
Correct. Yes.
Mhm. Okay. All right. Why are you saying it would take 9 months to a year
I've done a couple.
Yeah.
It takes 9 months to a year.
to get to a judge about
You
it?
have to try to, you have to make a reasonable effort to try to find out who owns it,
Mm-hmm.
which is probably heirs to somebody from
Yeah.
pre-1932.
Mm-hmm.
You have to try to contact them
Mm-hmm.
by certified mail. If you can't get a call, and how many heirs are gonna be from somebody that died in 32? There's gonna be a lot
Yeah.
of heirs. You have to public notice in the paper, just locally, but where you think the heirs may be.
Mm-hmm.
You have to prove to the judge it's what you're doing. I don't know. To be honest, I don't know why it takes all the time, but it does. Every one I've done takes 9 months to a year.
Mm-hmm.
It's a long legal process.
All right. Well, at least we've kind of come to a conclusion of what needs to be done, I guess. And I guess it makes no sense for you to go for it right now because we know what the answer is, so.
I was hoping you would say that.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it doesn't make a difference either way. I'd still be able to come back, so.
Right.
All right, well,
So you want to withdraw, or you want us to continue with?
yeah, we could just withdraw.
Okay.
I mean, I'll just deal with the situation, and once we have definitive answers, we know what we need to do. You've already heard about it, you know it, so it won't be that difficult. So,
Okay, so you're officially withdrawing the application?
yeah.
Okay,
All right.
thank you. The next item on the agenda is site plan for 1702 Colby Road, LLC, for Cold Springs.
I just have one copy of this. One of the things you guys asked was that elevation side view. I just got this, it shows 24 feet, so. Yes, I got a couple notes from Mark, so I didn't get a whole bunch. But This is basically the plan we had last time. We were showing the parking because he forgot to put on, so I had to fence it in there. And moving the dumpsters to that end. But I have another plan which Bruce had asked for, which shows both sides of it. And then he amended the plan to, because I guess some stuff was carried over from the other one. So now that's the accurate one.
You Scott? You Scott?
I'm Scott, yeah.
Thank you.
This is the new one, this is what we would ask for. And you can see that shows the current excavation of where we're at. And where we're gonna be after that, it's almost, we're almost done. We're only like few feet to go, so that's gonna be just a little bit long. And we're gonna probably go to the deck, cause that's all gravel. Yeah, yeah, and then we're gonna slope it after and seed it and of course do everything we need to do to get it back.
Glad Chip's not here, I need to read down there.
And the other question you guys had asked was, what's the radius of the lights? And the lights are shown on the plan, we're gonna have them on the end of the building, but they're only a 20-foot radius, because they're downcast lights and they're motion lights. And the ones under the overhang, they look like they're aiming out, but they're actually just lighting from the overhang. The way he drew it on here, it's, nothing actually aims that way. So those lights are under the overhang, so they're just direct down lights.
Do you have cut sheets on the lights?
I gave them to you last time. Yeah, you have the cut sheet. The only thing the cut sheet didn't show was a radius of light, so I had to call the company and they said it's 20 feet.
Yeah, I remember seeing it.
Yeah,
Right here. Going past that now.
but it doesn't say the radius for the light, so I had to call them up.
Are the lights gonna be as is shown on this plan? You're putting 6 lights up?
The lights are on the plan, yeah. I don't know about that other plan, but the,
Six lights, 2 on each long side, 1 each short side?
right. Because we don't work at night, so it's just to basically get people, you know, out the building.
Unless I don't know what I'm looking at, that's highly possible. It appears from this, there's gonna be 4 lights. No lights on the shoot.
That was from the company that was quoting me the lights, but the plans are the one from Art, which is actually what we're gonna do. But one of these side, this is under the overhang.
Right,
So these lights that you see going this way are interior lights.
right, but we're not showing any lights on the sides.
Right, that Art put them on the plan, because
So we
Lumens
need
for
a cut
Less
sheet
did.
showing what the lights are gonna be like.
Oh, that is the cut sheet. Because I'm not giving you an interior light, the cut sheet's for the exterior lights only.
Now you confuse me.
Yeah, the cut sheet,
This is the building, right?
yeah,
The cut sheet should be showing lights here and here. You don't have any lights.
it's just on the plan. It's not on this.
Well, yeah, but I need to know what the light's gonna do.
That's the cut sheet. That's the light.
No, that's the.
It's a downcast motion, 20-degree, 20-foot diameter light.
I understand that. I think I understand.
Okay,
What I'm trying to say is this sheet
Yep.
is what I'm calling the cut sheet.
yep,
It should show how many lumens are going out away from the building. I realize it's downcast,
Mhm.
it should only go 10 feet
right.
to cover our little checklist and everything
Okay.
else. We just need to have the manufacturer should be able to do it for you.
I don't have that right now, but I can get
Yeah,
it.
the manufacturer should be able to do it for nothing.
Okay,
If you agree to buy his lights, he'll do it for nothing.
yeah, okay.
Since I was on the table to attend the site walk 3 weeks ago, whatever it was,
Yeah, the 11th, yeah.
2 or 3 weeks ago, whatever
Yeah.
it was, I went out tonight on the way home. drove in and walked around a little bit. Noticed a couple of things. One, it appears that the silt fence is down in many places.
Oh, really?
When
Okay.
it's known, I mean, the stake was ripped right out of the stakes,
Okay.
in most cases, actually. Most of the stakes, at least the top, was ripped off.
Hmm.
When you first go in, the excavator to the left, and you go back a ways, there's an excavator parked to the left. There's runoff going towards the excavator, pulls up a little bit right there, runs behind the excavator, curves around, and dumps into the wetland prior to the silt fence. So the runoff is getting around your silt fence. A lot of runoff, a lot of silt is going into the wetland right there. The wetland buffer near the front, this one up here,
Yep.
is disturbed. You have vehicles parked almost up to the wetland.
Okay.
I mean,
We have it flagged. The little pink and black is the wetland flags.
I saw a couple of them.
Okay.
I didn't measure it because the snow's
Okay.
pretty deep, but it's,
Yep.
if you're not inside the buffer, you're real close.
Okay.
It also appears, and this is kind of confirming it, we didn't know about the excavation in the back before, on the first site plan.
No, no, but in the minutes of the meeting when we did this, that's what we said we're getting it from. Back last springtime, whatever.
Therefore, it appears you're over 100,000 square feet of disturbance. 2.3 acres, so that means you need an alteration terrain permit from the DES.
Okay.
There's almost 100,000 just in the back.
Yeah. I think I remember asking Art with the first site plan in the front, and he said it was 86,000 or something like that, 89,000.
Okay.
So it was
Yeah, I
under at
don't
that
know.
point. But when you had the excavation in the back, you're over 100,000 for sure.
Okay.
The only thing else I noticed, I didn't know I couldn't tell if the wetland crossing was widened.
No, actually,
It appears to be about 22, 25 feet wide.
did I
Yes.
give you that? Bruce, did I give you that or no? Did I keep it myself? That Google Earth thing I had from years ago? It hasn't been widened, but it does show that it's been there for a long time. But, is that the one I gave you guys?
No.
I don't think I gave it to you. I just showed, on the sidewalk, I showed everybody. It's on Google Earth. You can go back like 10 years, whatever. It hasn't been widened, but we're going for a dredge and fill for that.
Okay.
Because the culvert, if there was a culvert there, it's been crushed. So now it's filling up.
Well, yes, it is.
And it's starting to run.
That was my
when it
next
gets warm.
comment, was going to be about if there's a culvert there.
But Art said he was working on that
Okay.
3-4 weeks ago. So he is applying for a permit for that.
There's also some runoff that's going, I don't know how to describe it.
We're next to that stockpile, right?
Which stockpile? Look at the 100-scale map, it's probably about here. Somewhere in this general area. Going this way. Oh, I'm talking about another one. That's the one behind the excavator.
Yeah.
There's another one, this all kind of drains this way.
Okay.
The snow is pretty deep. There's a lot of water going down over the hill in that one spot.
Oh, which spot are we looking at?
A lot of water coming, all this water is pretty much going this way.
Yeah.
Some of it's coming into here, but most of it's coming down this way.
Yeah.
And I believe it's about here. There's a couple piles. I think it's about here.
Okay, that's over here.
Where's the road?
The road basically is coming in right here, and then it goes down this way. So the wetland, I don't know why it doesn't show where the road is here, but that just comes right this way. So the road comes right by here, so there's a pile there and a pile there.
Yeah, and the excavator's here.
Yeah.
So there's some going this way,
Yeah,
a lot going that way.
okay.
But there's also this area's draining kind of this way. It's running underneath the snow someplace in here.
Okay.
I walked down, I couldn't tell if the silt
Yeah.
fence was up or not. I mean, the silt fence is off the top staple.
When you guys were there, they weren't like that, were they? 'Cause
There was so much snow we couldn't tell anything.
Oh, because I made sure that wasn't the
Yeah,
case.
when we were
but-
there, we all we could see is white.
White and cold, yeah.
You'll see some fresh footprints now.
Well, when we were there, there was really 2 feet of snow, so. and I haven't
Now
been
it's
there.
2 feet of mud.
I
I
know.
went over my boots a couple
While you're
times.
right here, Scott, Art shows us limits of excavation line,
Yeah.
stopping pretty much at the buffer. But it doesn't show where it is along here.
What's that?
This limit of excavation,
Yeah.
he shows it like going to the buffer, but it doesn't show where it is.
Well, we haven't touched anything on that side.
Well, that's where digging's going on, over here.
No,
Across the air.
it's, if you look at the other map, because as soon as you cross what, on the right, there's nothing, we haven't touched that.
But then he needs to show the limits of excavation along the whole area, not just
I think, well, this here, we didn't touch.
tree line, right. Obviously, the tree line you didn't touch,
No,
but along the wetland buffer here was one of the excavation.
oh, I got you, yeah, yeah, okay,
You know what I mean?
yeah,
And, I mean, he showed it here,
yeah,
he just didn't show it on here.
okay. Yeah.
Also, you got some trailers parked in the 100-foot buffer.
Oh, they did? Okay, they're not supposed to.
There's a trailer
This isn't a tree, that's a site
all
plan.
through here.
Well, we can from here on out, so.
Yeah, they're right up, right up against the trees.
Are they? Okay. Yeah.
It's probably 200 feet, because it's subdivided this far
Yeah. This is a,
That's old now, I know.
there's a lot of them.
Yeah.
That was the only thing
out. I know it's a new subdivision, it's only about 3 years old.
because I couldn't find
Big
anything
pile
that
of
said
snow,
it was
right?
200, that's why it's
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know if this was wet or not. I don't know where the wetland was.
Yeah, wetlands kind of goes all through here and it's
Down
into
down
there.
here someplace, there's a wetland flag.
Yeah,
and there was
it goes out
disturbance right
behind,
beside it.
yeah.
I think it was right in here. There's a wetland flag and the disturbance was right 5 feet from it.
And we didn't really touch that area, that was when Townsend did it with, who owned it before. So some of the stuff we didn't really, I didn't mess in that area, we flattened that out. And then Towns did some of the work there, but we haven't played in there at all. We've been working right in there. But we can make sure we're not in that buffer.
You know, I think it might be wise to have the town engineer go out and look at it for us.
Inspect the erosion control.
Yeah,
Who's the town engineer, Bruce?
Steve Keach Nordstrom.
Keach,
Okay.
Mike Dolber of what's wrong there, right? Inspector Roy, go in, I mean, he has a site plan that was approved prior to this application for the RV storage out there.
Right.
Um, So I think we've got two things, compliance with that site plan. And the erosion control here, and to verify, I don't know, I'm just.
Does the aquifer protection ordinance apply to this lot?
I believe so.
Yeah, it is an
Okay.
aquifer. That's why the drainage is the way it
Is
is.
there anything showing, and I haven't seen it, but is there anything on there showing snow storage as required as in here?
I don't have a copy of the approved plan.
Okay.
There's nothing on this plan.
But if this plan is approved, would this supersede the previous plan?
Yes.
Yes,
So it should be shown on this plan then,
yes.
if one is on the previous one.
I would like to see that 100-foot buffer in the front revegetated, at least cleaned up and loamed and seeded. Because right now it's crushed stone on at least some of it.
Yeah, about to the tree line, right, about even with the gate, right?
Right.
As soon as you get inside the gate, it parallels the road.
I'm a little confused on that, though, because what I understand is that the 100-foot buffer is from the abutter's property line. Because the intent of the 100-foot buffer is to protect the abutters, not a road.
Yeah, just got it shown, we had that discussion with the last site plan.
But we never really came to a conclusion of,
Yeah, we did, because Art showed it on the site plan. It's from
so
the-
that's like a 160-foot buffer is what you're really asking for, from the other property.
100-foot buffer on the industrial zone, yes.
Right, but from the property line, it's like
From
150.
their property line,
Hmm.
yes. Well, you're
Okay.
including the road in that. The road isn't much of a buffer.
But still separates the two properties. Yeah. That's not a big deal anyway. I mean, we don't really need anything over there.
And if the wetland buffer was, if this wetland buffer was disturbed, I would like to see that loam seeded revegetated also.
Mm.
I believe it is. Art's kind of showing a tree line in it.
Yeah, about halfway through it.
Yeah. Just for your information, if you disturb more than an acre, you're supposed to have a stormwater pollution prevention plan, which part of that plan is weekly monitoring of erosion control. You're supposed to keep a log book and all that kind of good stuff, pictures,
Okay.
FYI.
Yeah, all right.
EPA has been checking lately.
Okay.
In the beginning, that's pretty steep fines.
Yeah.
When you apply for the site specific, they're gonna get into that.
Yes.
You talking about the other part that I have to have Art do the whatever you're talking
Yeah, they're
about?
gonna, the site specific, because it's
Al-
all
alteration.
the same lot, alteration of terrain.
Yeah.
It's gonna apply to everything.
Okay.
It's gonna all tie together. It's not gonna just be part A and part B, it's all gonna be one.
But then they'll tell you what you need to do.
Well, your engineer will.
Right, right.
Yeah.
Okay.
But they're pretty thorough with there. It's not like it was 30 years ago.
Okay.
They're gonna want a regrading plan and all that kind of, for the excavated area.
Sure, okay. But the engineering can do all that for us.
Yeah.
Okay.
Are you going to discuss notes that need to be on here?
Sure. What notes do you want on there?
Need something about the zone he's in. I didn't see it. I
Zone,
didn't miss it.
zone industrial.
Which one are you reading?
Industrial?
Yes.
How do you file it for me? You don't know when, right?
Got it. Is it appropriate to have a building like that? I mean, that kind of use in that construction zone? Drainage issues?
That's why he's doing this. That's why he's doing this thing here.
No, I mean water, I mean
Yeah, but all that goes into here.
oil,
Oh,
wastewater.
They put a septic system right here.
But you can't put oil if he's changing it.
No, there won't be a floor drain.
Oh, okay.
There will be a floor drain
Yeah, there will be a floor drain?
in every bay, or every other bay.
And where do they leave?
Well, did I apply for a permit for that?
Nobody will.
Because that requires a state permit.
Oh, I know the whole thing, but I want them, and we're not an oil generator like that anyways. but for water when snow's on the roof, that's what we're gonna
Yeah,
do it
if
for.
there's any hole in the floor, you have
This is industrial?
to treat it as if there's oil into it.
Oh, I know,
So it's
you'd have to have a
Um,
basin and all that
Detention
stuff.
basins, and you're gonna have to pump it out, right? You're gonna do
Yeah.
you're gonna have a closed system where you pump it out, right?
Yeah, and you could have Clean Harbor or somebody, yeah. We're looking at it, we're exploring it, because it just makes it a lot easier than with water in the winter dripping everywhere.
So they need a permit there, that's another state issue.
There will be none, or if there is some, one paying the permit is prerequisite.
Yes.
I don't know, you got the soils, where it used to be. So we need to show snow storage. I wanna see the road, where the road is in this thing, just to help us. Obviously, gonna be applying for wetland permit, unfortunately, we need to show that anyway. If you're gonna be showing floor drains, it'd be nice to show that, have a note saying that.
If we're gonna put them, it really depends, we're working with New Hampshire Auto Dealers first on that, because sometimes it's really not worth it.
Right.
So,
It's a real,
at our shop now, we covered them up with cement and just don't use them. It wasn't worth the hassle.
But the note should reflect that there either will
I was
be.
gonna say, if there's not gonna be any, please add a note, no floor
Yep.
drains.
Yeah, a floor drain note saying whether you do or don't,
Right,
and the permit number if you do.
yeah.
An alteration for any permit.
Can we go back to the snow real quick? If you look in zoning ordinances, page 4529.8.12, it says, under prohibited uses, the development or operation,
Where are you again?
29.8.12 in aquifer protection. Under prohibited,
Oh, 29. Yes.
development or operation of a snow dump under prohibited uses. And the definition of a snow dump as adopted in 2014, for the purpose of this ordinance, a location where snow which is cleared for roadways and/or motor vehicle parking areas is placed for disposal. So this tells me they can't put snow from their parking lots in that lot.
No, that's for importing snow from off-site.
Okay, just want to make sure, okay. Because the way I read that, it's
Yeah.
off of a parking lot.
No, it's from importing it from anywhere else.
Okay,
You can't bring it from some other site.
good, okay,
Put on there.
just want to make sure.
I remember the instance of why that ordinance was written.
I'm sure.
Should show a snow storage area anyway.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be one snow, it could be a continuous
Right.
row
Right.
or something
Right,
over in here or something, not in the buffer. but-
26 to 40 feet away from the wetlands,
Right, right,
fine with me.
yeah.
Anyway, I would certainly like to see that erosion control fixed relatively soon,
Mm-hmm.
actually very soon. The water, the runoff going around the excavator would be easily fixed. I'd advise wearing rubber boots, but other than that, I went over my boots.
Okay.
Once you're over, it doesn't matter anymore.
Well, now it's probably soft enough we can drive some stakes back in the ground. Because I think a lot of that's not frozen right
All
now.
you really have to do is extend that existing silt fence 30
Okay.
feet.
We can do
And then
that.
would probably cover it.
Okay.
Or you can just go zip around the runoff and use 10 feet of silt fence.
As we drive in, you're talking on the left.
Yeah.
On the excavator and
Right
toward
before the
that.
excavator, there's a flat spot.
Yeah, okay.
It's all full of water,
Mhm.
slush right now.
Yeah,
It's flowing, I believe, between the road and the excavator.
probably, yeah.
Right
It's a
next
little,
to the pile,
Yeah.
right next to the sand pile,
and
yeah.
then-
Down the
then-
hill.
Then it's curving away from the road,
Okay,
but it's pretty good runoff.
okay.
Anybody else have any comments or questions?
There's a note here that I'm sure is typographical error. It says install 170 linear feet 36-foot
Still,
rated HDPE laid flat.
Yes.
Still says-
36 inch, yeah.
Yeah, it's been ongoing.
so if you want us to put in a 36-foot perforated pipe,
Yeah.
I'll approve it.
More power to you.
Yep, I don't have a problem with that.
When he goes to the alteration of frame permit, they'll have that fixed.
Yeah.
Probably.
What number was that, Neil?
Now, when is that photograph taken?
There's a note that says install 170 linear feet of 36-foot perforated pipe.
Park was there.
Yeah, what note number was it though?
It's not a note,
Oh, it's
number, it's
a
just
note,
a
Last
a
one.
leader note.
Oh, so this is not current.
But they still there.
Thanks, Greg.
That tree line is the same one Art's showing.
Yeah.
See the tree line Art's showing right here?
Right.
Does
That's
anybody from the public have anything to say?
Staff, then there has to be some sort of note that says, unless this
Seeing
is
no
just
comment,
plain illegal.
close the public
It
hearing.
says he can't do it.
It is.
I am gonna recommend to Chip's on vacation, but when he gets back, I'm gonna recommend he has Keach North School to take a look at this. I mean, I didn't walk the whole thing. I just walked a couple plate levels. Walked a few areas where it looked like there might be problems, and there was. Certainly didn't walk all this across the wetlands. I didn't walk any of that. I drove out there and turned around and came back. I would like to see it cleaned up and a little better, more compliant. So from my list, I got AOT, better erosion control, the wetland buffer in the front. You said you were applying for wetland permit
To cross the, yeah, to the
Yes.
other side, yeah,
across the brook.
for a culvert, yeah.
Snow storage, showing the Woods Road, floor drain note whether proposed or not.
Mm-hmm.
Also have
Keach.
the access road on that.
Yeah, I measured it as 22, 25-ish. I mean, I couldn't really tell how wide that road was. So when you go on back, making an assumption that that's the same road that curved down to the right, it was certainly narrow. If you're going for a wetland permit to put a new pipe in, I'm sure you're gonna get permitted enough to handle the whole thing.
Yeah, yeah.
And like I said, I'm gonna recommend this Chip to have town engineer go out and take a look.
Okay.
Is this an iron rod?
Does that give you enough to do for a month?
Yeah.
Anybody else have any comments, questions?
The, it's gonna take them a little while to get that AOT permit.
I think it's 60 days roughly or so, isn't that
You wanna
something?
continue this for 2 months?
I would think so, right? Because I don't think we'll have it by then.
I don't either.
Hmm.
We need a date certain.
And the other option we have, Bruce, is to do it next month, and then whatever we find, we have to have that before we get it full on approval.
Yeah, I think we're better off just continuing for 2 months, because the wetlands permit's gonna take it, and it's expedited, one take 30 days.
Well, he supposedly did it last month, so,
You're gonna need to go to the Conservation Commission to get their blessing to get an expedited permit.
okay,
It's gonna take it 2 months.
okay.
That would be April 27th meeting.
Mm-hmm.
Make a motion to continue this April 27th.
Second.
The discussion part of this is, we accepted this application as complete last month,
Yes.
correct?
Yes. I have till then to ask for it.
Yeah.
Correct.
We're within the 90 days yet.
Yep.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right.
Opposed? Abstained?
Can I ask a question, though? When we come back, if we meet all these guidelines, what's gonna happen?
We're gonna kick you out.
Because the reason I'm really here is to get approval for this building.
Yes.
And going through all this stuff is fine, but I wanna know that when I get here, I meet all those, is there gonna be an issue? Are we gonna discuss the building at that point, or are we gonna be,
No, the building, I mean,
All we're worried about, what I'm worried about mostly is runoff
okay,
from the building, which we covered in the first site plan,
Okay.
obviously. In the cut sheet for the, in this cut sheet for the.
I could, yep. Is that gonna all be in the minutes, everything we're talking about, so that, okay,
we don't care about your internal of the building.
right,
Whatever you do inside, we don't care except for floor drains.
okay. All right, so if I meet all those guidelines, then we should be going forward. Okay. And you guys will set an appointment up with me to walk the engineer through? Or a chip roll, is that how it works?
Typically, he doesn't normally, I don't know if he normally asks you or tells you when he's gonna do it, or set up a meeting.
Well, he'll just do it anyway,
He probably
so,
just does it. but
Okay.
He can certainly let you know when he's gonna do it.
okay. You wanna hang on to those?
Yeah,
Okay. This is probably gonna have to make some amendments to it as well.
yeah, there we go.
Okay. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Give me a minute to get my file straightened out here. The chips file.
You can tell two of us to fold the plans before him.
Well, I can read them upside down better than you can. And the next item on the agenda is lot line adjustment for Timothy Farmer, Waterman Road. And we have a letter saying, or email, no letter, saying Mr. Carr, the cripple, can represent Mr. Farmer.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. For the record, I am Tom Carr. I'm here tonight to represent Art Siciliano, or in place of Art Siciliano, to represent Tim Farmer Revocable Trust. I believe last month this was presented. This is a plan to eliminate tax lot 10159 and annex two parcels of it, B and C, to adjacent lots that Mr. Farmer currently owns. It's my understanding we're just waiting for approval of easements that Attorney Drescher's been reviewing. Art, I spoke with him today. We were not aware if those had been reviewed yet and approved by Attorney Drescher. So I don't know if those have been received by the board or not.
I know.
So if there was an issue on the location of the driveway,
Yes, there was part of the issue was it's a easement for three different lots. And the easement that was proposed last time only showed one lot, and it was kind of confused.
Yeah.
And then I know another easement document went to Mr. Drescher like a week and a half ago. I looked at it, most of those items were addressed. I don't think Drescher has approved it yet. But I think that's the only major issue, because we were worried about rights to Stephen Chase down in the lake suddenly being revoked and not in the new deed. The only thing else I can add is near that easement area, there's a course that says north 80, 2306 east, 40 feet.
Yes.
I was hoping to have a monument placed on the other end of that line.
Right, I think Art said he set an offset bound because that monument would fall in the center of the brook. So
Okay.
he set an offset.
So he's gonna show in the final plan where
Right,
that.
yeah, so that'll be, I'm not sure if that's if you look where it says proposed easement dotted area, it says IRS, which is iron rod set.
Yes.
I'm not sure if that's the offset, if that was on the plan last month, or if that's the new offset point that he set.
Here, so we get to look at
Yeah.
it.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm looking at the other side, the other end of that line.
Is that last month's plan?
Yeah. Yeah, Craig's talking about this point down here.
Right, yeah.
And Mr. Farmer did say it was gonna be close to the brook at the time.
Right, so, if you look at this plan here, this is
That's the
new, right?
next point.
That's new, right?
Yeah, I don't know.
So that's the iron rod set, so it's an offset on line, 8 feet from the actual corner, so it's not set in the.
Well, as long as the new plan shows it.
Yeah.
So we show a proposed easement in the dotted area. We should say something on here about,
Do you have any more of those new plans, Tom?
It's the only one he gave me, Bruce. I assumed he had sent some to the town, so if he didn't, I apologize for that. I do have a,
if he did, I apologize.
I can, I can certainly get you copies of it.
I don't think he did. The file's not big enough to have a whole lot of copies in it. I just have old copies. If I understand it right, from memory, the previous driveway for Stephen Chase came in off Waterman Road, went close to Mr. Farmer's house, then looped back down, went through a corner of parcel B, I think. Or maybe kind of followed
I
parcel B.
believe that's
I think it
correct.
follows the lot line there, I think.
Yeah.
I think it did. Either way, we ought to have some note saying that right of way is,
Former right-of-way discontinued.
yeah, abandoned, eliminated, discontinued, whatever. And the proposed easement area is dotted. I haven't seen the document
Mhm.
recently, but it probably should continue the whole way down to
The Chase
Mr.
parcel.
Mr. Chase's.
Yeah, because the easement for Chase all the way through.
Right.
Right.
And we asked him for some description of that.
There was a meets and bounds in it.
Yeah.
I know what I mean.
Just a question of the day, Tom.
Yep.
Is that driveway location within the 25-foot buffer of that wetland?
You know, I don't know. I know Art asked for a waiver for wetland delineation at the last meeting and was granted that. So I haven't been on the site. As you know, I do most of Art's wetlands work. I have not seen this site, so I don't know. Based on that 40-foot line segment, it's gotta be awfully close.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, I don't know. If that's an abrupt edge, top of bank to the
You
brook.
don't need to see the wetland. I think you need the edge of the buffer on there, if it's that close.
Right, well, we can't do the buffer without the wetland
I know.
delineation.
Does anybody from the public have any comment? Jeez, all these people are here not saying anything.
Something big is coming.
Something's coming. I don't know what it is. Now I'm getting worried. Seeing, therefore I'll close the public hearing. to add a note saying the existing easements are gonna be eliminated, abandoned, discontinued. He's gotta set a monument. He's gonna draft something showing the rest of the easement to Chase.
Yeah,
The easement document has to be approved by the director.
yeah. Wetland buffer. Did you see Tom's plan?
No,
They look at it.
where is it?
Tom has it.
Let me see your plan, Tom. Please. I was gonna say, I'll get up and get it.
This is the, just so you can point this out to Craig, that's the monument that Art has set in lieu of putting it on the
I'll come
corner,
over.
which was right in the middle of the, yeah, so this is the monument that he set. Craig, it's an offset. You know, it would have been right in the middle of the brook.
So you're saying the brook is probably a little less than 8 feet wide, 8 feet from the corner?
Yeah, it's probably about six feet, because that's up on, over the top of the bank.
Therefore, the brook's probably 12, 15 feet from the easement line.
That's exactly right. It's 8, 12 to the easement, and then there's a 20-foot segment there.
And the road-
So that's what I'm reading
So the
to.
road's about 23, 25 feet from the wetland. Right? From the brook, excuse me, not the wetland.
The edge of the easement is a little over 12 feet, probably about 14 feet to the edge of the brook. So you know, he's got a dashed line shown there for, I guess, looks like an existing driveway.
Yes, it was already,
Um,
under Mr. Farmer, it's been built.
Yeah.
So it's probably less than 25 feet.
Hmm.
Yes, and if he's in the wetland buffer, he's gonna need a variance, as we all know.
Okay.
So yes, I think we have to continue it. So you got the 5 things written down that I said?
I have notation that the former right-of-way easement be discontinued to Steve Chase in lieu of the new easement.
Yep.
Show the easement all the way to the Chase property line with meets and bounds. Show the driveway with respect to the wetland edge, wetland buffer, and get a variance if need be. And what's the other two?
Well, the other one is the document has to be approved by,
Right,
No
easements,
pressure.
easement
That's
doc.
okay.
One other thing that I would like to note, and correct me if I'm wrong on this, but on the purpose of the plan, Art refers to parcels A and B. I believe that should probably say B and C.
Then you throw parcel A in here, is it?
Right, no, it doesn't.
Yeah, I would say it's probably B and C.
Okay. Other than that, I guess, Mr. Chairman, I'd request that we continue this until next month's meeting. Unless the board has any further comments or questions.
What's the date of Isn't that April?
22nd.
March 23rd?
You might want to, I think the purpose of the plan needs to be changed. I don't think you're eliminating 59, but you're not, oh, never mind, I got it.
Yeah, I think it's correct. It's just the last line says parcels A and B are not to be considered separate lots of record, but it's
Yes.
parcel B and C.
Yes.
But just to clarify that.
we're gonna continue to March 23rd, is that true?
So moved.
Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
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 All right, thank you for your time.
Okay. Thank you. Next time I see you, no crutches.
I hope so.
Been there too. The next item on the agenda is a subdivision for Francis and Nancy Burrow, corner of Rockland and Concord Stage Road, in the commercial zone.
Mr. Chairman, I'm gonna excuse myself for a few minutes. I got it.
I was told I have copies for everybody here.
We're looking for it, we got a copy.
You got an extra one? No, 1, 2, 3. Okay.
Can you give one to John?
Yes.
I assume he's coming back.
Game one.
Oh. Wow, Chip did a good job, made all these copies. Don't put that in there, I don't want to.
You don't wanna go into a session?
No.
All the dogs.
I do have a note from Conservation Commission, no objection. I don't see any waivers that would be required or asked for.
Should he be asking for a waiver for, doesn't look like there's a remainder? Doesn't look like he has all the bearings and distances on it. I don't think it's-
That is correct. The remainder that goes along the former railroad bed on the River Road side is based on tax map and deeds,
Yeah.
because most of that on the other side of the wet is just
But I'm just saying,
is what it is.
I need a waiver for that, right?
We will ask for that verbally now and follow it up with a written request.
Probably gonna do a waiver for topo for the.
Yeah, I was gonna say, and remainder of the topo.
Yeah,
See, it's either being a big deal, is proving frontage on Rockland Road for the remainder lot.
Yeah, the remainder lot does have a recent approved state septic, so we've proved it's buildable. We got the 4K area,
well, it's 18 and a half.
and it's
acres.
18.5 acres, so.
You certainly got 3 or 4 acres of dry land, that's for sure.
Yes.
So I guess we have 2 waiver requests, one for the entire boundary survey and one for the remainder of the topo on lot 94.
I'll make a motion to approve those waivers.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Everything else seems to meet the checklist.
Who seconded?
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
So was that a motion I just heard you make, Bruce, to accept it as complete?
Make a motion to accept this application as complete.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Mr. Dahlberg.
Mr. Chairman, I represent Frank and Nancy Burrow, the owners of 20294. They own land on fronts on Rockland Road, Concord Stage Road. In the corner of 77 Concord Stage and Rockland Road is zoned commercial, and they would like to subdivide off that commercial portion of their property. As we've shown, we exceed all your minimum lot sizes and frontages, and for the board's edification, this will be followed up by a formal site plan, because we can't build on commercial property without a site plan. It's not like a house lot.
Yeah.
So whatever questions you have about drainage and the like, I think we just pass on that until, if the board sees fit, pass on that until the
We
site plan.
did have a conceptual a couple months ago on this.
I heard that. I'm not aware of, I haven't seen that, but that's why we're here.
I assumed that.
It's pretty straightforward.
Why didn't you put all the commercial property on this lot?
Well, we show a zone line, which on the full-size copy you can see. When we first surveyed this, Everett Stone pointed out the spot that we were supposed to draw our 750 or 800 foot circle from. So basically, where we come off the frontage on Rockland Road, the corner of that stone wall, there's an arc that passes through the three angle points of the side and rear lot line, which is basically all the we've included all the commercial property as much as practicable to show.
So the new lot is nothing but commercial, no residential,
That is correct. It's all commercial and no residential.
just a little overlap of commercial on the remainder there.
Yes, just a tiny bit, which obviously we can't build on. We wanted to hold that boundary on the road as a natural, well, not a natural, but an obvious boundary between Frank's house and the commercial property.
There was one more.
Yeah.
I don't think we have anything in the zoning saying,
No, I was just kinda curious more than anything. I
we
wasn't.
won't have to follow zoning lines.
No, I wasn't. I wouldn't wanna see a curved boundary in the woods anyway.
No.
I would have to ask then, why did you do that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I really didn't want to stake that out either.
No. Just take the center of it and forget about it. The only thing I can see is note 3, you say proposed lot. And you say, instead of that, say 94-2? Proposed
Yeah.
lot 94-2? The same way with the next note 4?
Yeah.
I don't think this is like 3 acres.
But you're right.
What's the question?
Commercial zone, is the lot size 2 or 3 acres?
That's 3.
Really?
Yeah. I believe so.
We should change that.
I thought it was
Should change all of it.
That's a different story. You got the road next to the existing septic system, septic system approval number, and there's no number there.
I probably typed it on a layer that got frozen, because I did the design, and
Yeah.
I think I have the approval right here, Bruce.
Just had it where to go.
Yeah, I'll fix that.
Yeah, C must be on the frozen layer too for septic.
And there are no proposed.
Yeah. See, I try to misspell things just to keep Craig on his toes.
Mike, there's no proposal for buildings on this property?
Oh,
Well, there is,
Also a site plan.
but they're gonna come back with a site plan. They have to.
And technically, the commercial's per the lot size table. The way I understand that, but
You know, I did that, just out of habit. Because the minimum lot size is 3 acres, but we have 7.05, so. There is no soil-based lot sizing, I don't think, for the commercial zone.
Yeah, it was just 5 acres.
I think it's just straight up 3 acres.
oh, yeah, I've read that sentence wrong, that's for sure. Now I'm bugged that I can't find it. Article 24.5.1, sir,
24.5.1.
says 2 acres. Gotcha.
Well, then we're 5 acres over instead of
Yes,
4.
you're way bigger than you have to be. So I heard you say something about checking Craig's spelling, and you said something about the septic system approval number and something else?
There's no C, there's no number.
Oh, okay.
You got something, William, sir?
Yes, we do.
Is it safe to assume the driveway's gonna come off Rockland Road?
I would think so, just looking at the sheer economics of trying to come through that slope off of 77. But that's up to the
Right, that's the
next guy.
Okay, does anybody from the public wanna say anything this time?
Now they're all
Hearing
waiting for the
nothing?
next one.
Mike, isn't there an existing road off Rockland Road that access?
There is an existing gravel access.
I'll
Yeah.
close the public hearing.
Oh, okay.
So we got change note 3 to say 90, add lot 94-2,
Yep,
2 acres rather than 3. Change note 4 to 94-2.
yep.
We need to wear a driveway note in there, I think.
Oh, yeah,
You know the note.
yes.
And set monuments. Appears to be 3.
Yeah, is there, is the existing culvert underneath that existing gravel drive? It looks like he showed one
That's the lot line that connects the two ends of the wall, Bruce. I don't believe there is, or else we would have located it.
there. No, underneath the
No.
existing gravel driveway, the access road for that, lot 2?
Oh, yes,
Between the two.
there
wetlands?
is, there is. I'm sorry. Yeah, a little further in,
Yeah.
yeah. I'll label that also.
In the construction approval note.
Yeah.
Any other questions or comments from the board?
You looking for a conditional approval motion?
I was kind of, yes.
Mr. Chairman, I move we approve the application on the condition that the following changes are made, that in the notes, that, and on the map, that the culvert be labeled. You got the waiver for this building.
Yeah, well, yeah, I was making notes as I was done with it.
That note 3 be corrected from 3 acres to 2 acres, and a reference to the lot number be placed there, 94.2. The same with lot number change with respect to note 4. That a note be added that monuments be set. What was the driveway note?
The typical Weare drive, must be titled Weare driveways.
Oh, and the usual language with respect to subject to the Weare driveway requirements be inserted. That's it. And the septic system approval number be inserted on the plat.
I'll second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Congratulations.
Very good. Oh, you're in a butter?
No.
Okay.
You want this?
I need one of them. Chip the yellow.
Here's the rest of that.
I'm not gonna do the rest of it. I'll file that.
Frank, I'll swing by probably Saturday. I'll call you tomorrow.
We're leaving Tuesday, so if you can do it before then.
Yeah, okay. No problem.
Whatever's comfortable for you, mate.
All right, I got the next one up, so.
Next application on the agenda is change of site plan, change of use. Martin O'Brien doing business as H2O Waste Disposal and Marty Company Dumpsters at 33 D&B Lane.
You ran into that, you only was in before, is it? Conceptual, right?
Yes.
Everybody gets one of these?
You're welcome. I have a note from assessing saying no comment, and I got a note from somebody unknown saying no comment. I don't know who it is. Who's got pictures?
This is the existing facility. You got the back one? What are the existing hours of operation? You say same as existing?
Second in the plan, note 4.
You can read that?
Monday through Friday, 5 to 10, Saturday, 8 to 5, and no hours on Sunday.
Could you repeat that?
I'm sorry.
Monday through Friday?
Monday through Friday, 5 a.m. to 10 p.m., and Saturday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Those were the approved hours for the last site plan. And no hours on Sunday.
storm drains in this building?
That I don't know. But I believe there was a discussion with Mr. O'Brien that he would fill those in and then seal the floor, if they did exist.
What will be in the dumpsters on the outside of the
Well,
building?
let's get the application accepted as complete before we get into
Sure.
detail, please. I didn't see any waiver requests that appeared to be.
Yeah, we have the full boundary, full topo. There are no wetlands on the site. There aren't any wetlands that would be adjacent that could be shown on the plans. Driveways are in place, no changes to any of those, so.
Move the application be accepted as complete.
Do we have a second? Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Okay, Mr. Dahlberg.
What I would like to do is give you a brief overview of the plan and the one change. And then I'd like Mr. O'Brien to come up and explain how he plans on running his business on site, because I'll mess that up. The only thing that's proposed that's different from the last site plan is a truck scale on the southerly, towards the southerly boundary of the property. It's because it's gonna be up on concrete sonotubes. It's off the ground, but it is a structure. It's attached to the ground, so it meets the setbacks. And it's located within the area that's in the compacted gravel that's already been used to calculate the lot coverage percentage for the Aquifer Protection District. So there's no increase in impervious area on the lot. So we didn't redo the calculations. Everything stays the same. So we don't have to ask for any special consideration from the board for the Aquifer Protection Overlay District. The trucks are gonna come in, go on the scale, and then they do their business on site, which Mr. O'Brien will describe to the board. And then they go back around, they wait again, and then they're out. In terms of vehicle storage on site and parking, it's the employees and the trucks that they use, and it's my understanding some dumpsters, but Mr. O'Brien can give you the numbers and the quantity. Which it's my understanding, after speaking with him at our office, that would all occur within the existing compacted gravel area shown. It's a pretty substantial size. So if you have any questions for me on the plan contents, I'd be glad to answer those. Other than that, I'll hand it over to Mr. O'Brien.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes.
In the application, you talk about 3 to 5 employees. Note 6 says 9.
Must be a typo left over.
So is it 9 or is it 3 to 5?
Well, it's about 5 employees, but I do have a couple part-times at work, 2 days a week, so counting part-time is looking at total about 9.
So it would be 529. How would you like me to word that? 5 full-time and 3 or 4 part-time?
I up to 9.
But the 9 is accurate.
Yes.
Thank you.
Mr. O'Brien and I were emailing and scanning stuff back and forth and on the phone, and I must have missed something in the translation. We can correct that.
I think we can hear from Mr. O'Brien.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman and the board. Our previous meeting last month, I own 2 companies, H2O Waste Disposal and Martico Dumpsters. It's pretty simple. I go around and collect curbside trash and recycle materials, along with building materials, roofing, sheetrock, shingles, and stuff like that. What I'm looking to do is to be able to bring it back to this facility, weigh it up on scales, process that material inside, bale it up, and ship it out to its next destination. Nothing's gonna be housed outside. All the operations will be done inside the warehouse. Only thing parked outside would be, like Mike said, the employees' cars, the trucks, and I would say about 20 dumpsters, which will be in rotation between
Roll-off style
contractors.
dumpsters?
What's that?
Roll-off style dumpsters?
Correct, yeah.
And they'll all be empty when they're stored outside?
Correct, yeah.
And clean?
And clean, yeah.
Where do you clean them?
Well, typically, if we have to clean, I usually go down to White Dog and go to a car wash place. Rinse them off if we have to, but typically, you do that once in a blue moon.
But what about the inside?
Inside,
The
dumpster
inside
stuff.
of the dumpster? Does that
typically, when
get
you go to
liquid?
another facility, you just dump it out and it comes out into the, under the floor, tipping floor.
No, but does it contain liquids?
You might only have residue, might be water from rain.
And you're gonna dump them on the inside?
Correct.
And there are no floor drains?
To my knowledge, I haven't seen, I only saw 2, and they look like they're already sealed.
I know the previous application, I mentioned floor drains, they said they were gonna seal them. Whether they did or not, I don't know.
Question for you, Mr. Chairman. Note 16 says existing uses of site, and 17 is proposed uses. Do the existing uses mean that they can be continued?
The only
I
reason we
would-
show those is because it's in the checklist.
I would say no. The existing use is being discontinued.
Add
That's why we're doing a change of use site plan.
a little bit on the 16th and could be discontinued or something?
Yeah, I don't think any of those uses there are undertaken by Mr. O'Brien under the operation, in the operation of his business, so we can add that.
You also bring in household waste, is that correct?
Correct, yeah.
Should we have note 17 also reference, about 3/4 of the way down says no recyclable material shall be stored outside? Should we also include household waste or refuse, something to reference?
Well, it goes on to say outside storage of dumpsters, company vehicles, and employee vehicles only.
Well, they mentioned recyclable materials, I'm just, if his business is also household waste, non-recyclable,
Trash.
yeah. I think it should be referenced every reference is one.
Just to clarify, there won't be any trash brought to this site. There's only recyclables.
There will be some trash. I mean, with every type of recyclable commodities, you have that, you can't get around it. You do process through that. You know, MSW is a recycling commodity as you're pouring through it in a sense.
So it'll be whatever trash got into the recycling by,
Correct, yeah.
What do you do with that?
What I'm gonna do, I'll get separated, everything will get separated out, paper, cardboard, your commingled stuff gets separated along with your roofing shingles and so forth. It'll get baled up and it'll get shipped out.
No, the household trash.
That will get containerized and that will also that gets shipped out as well.
As what?
What's that?
What, who buys household trash?
No, I will ship it out to like Wheelabrator, to incinerator.
And not to the Weare landfill?
Correct. Yeah.
The Weare transfer station, we don't have a landfill.
Good
I
I
point.
wish we did.
I could have said dump.
Those were the
but-
good days.
Good point, Mr. Culver.
So I think we need to expand on note 17 just a little bit more. Indicating there's no washing of dumpsters outside. That no, all the dumpsters stored outside are to be clean.
Yeah, there'll be empty dumpsters,
Yeah.
correct, yeah.
Not only empty, but washed. So that when we get a downpour and the dumpster's just been put out there from inside and it's dirty, we don't want it running out in the ground if it's not on the containment area.
Right, well, yeah, I could, I mean, there isn't much you can do, it's just when you dump them out and contain, everything empties out. You
No, I-
might have some dirt and stuff in them, but,
I understand that, but because there's no, it's just a gravel surface outside in
Right.
case they run off.
Yeah.
We don't want the stuff in the dumpster, even though it's not full, but it's been emptied.
right.
The residue in there coming out of the dumpster onto the ground.
So what, can we say broom clean?
Yeah, sweep it and do that.
You can't use water.
The dumpsters, are they something you just keep reusing?
Correct, they go in and out. I mean, I might have a couple contractors, I might pick up a contractor's house, bring it to your house, you have it for a week, I bring it back, dump it out, bring it to the next guy.
I mean, you must have to the only reason I'm bringing it up is you must have to refurbish, weld, paint, and so on.
Occasionally, but I usually would ship those out to the manufacturer, yeah, yeah,
To the guy that runs the business in the building now.
yeah.
Note 17 says company vehicles are gonna be stored outside.
Yeah.
Can you describe what a company vehicle is?
Company vehicles is I have a couple of, like roll-off trucks in a sense, like 6-wheelers and one 10-wheeler. And then I have some box trucks as well, like 5 of those.
They have roofs, the box trucks have roofs on them.
Right, yeah, and they dump out, and it's for the guys, they use it to go around and collect.
Yeah, the roll-off trucks, unless they have a dumpster on them, they don't hold anything. They just
Correct,
bring it.
yeah, essentially, yeah.
So these are enclosed vehicles.
The box trucks are enclosed, yeah.
So the only outside use is really storage.
The only thing I use outside is just to park some dumpsters. Keep in mind, like, during my busy season, for me to have a dumpster really at the site, is a few in between. During the wintertime, like this time, we're not busy, it's slow, construction dies out, people ain't cleaning their houses, then they come back and that's when they sit.
How are the dumpsters emptied? When they're brought to you, they're brought through the scale.
Yeah.
I'm assuming they pull into the back of the building.
Yeah,
Um,
back inside the building.
And it tips like they do a
Tips.
wheelabrator?
Yeah.
There's enough height in there for that?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, it's a tall.
okay.
What about odor?
Back up.
I'm sorry.
You tip the dumpster, all the material comes out,
Correct.
lays on the floor.
Yeah.
Truck drives away.
Yeah.
Back to the scale.
Yeah.
Hopefully he leaves, dumpster with him.
Correct.
This time of year, you won't, the dumpster be sitting there.
Right. Sometimes it's your truck bringing it in, weigh it, dump it,
Right.
and the dumpster sits there.
Correct.
So the dumpster's sitting there, doesn't have a cover on it,
Correct. Yeah.
so rainwater's gonna get in it.
He
Yeah.
broom cleaned it.
Right.
While it was in the building, he broom cleaned it. So you now have a, quote, broom clean dumpster outside, collecting rain.
Okay. Okay, your question.
What about odor?
With the order, there shouldn't be too much order because a lot of the product's gonna get shipped in, shipped out. You might have a small order during the summer months, when you have a crystallized spray, like cat litter type of thing, you just throw it around. Deodorize the smell, contains it.
So there will be literally household garbage, spoiled meat, vegetables, stuff like that.
It wouldn't be like from a Shaw's, it's typically from a curbside residence. You might have some of that, yeah.
How long would that stay on site before being transported off site?
That would, within 24, 48 hours, it's gonna get handled. That gets picked up off the floor immediately, gets repackaged or recontainerized, and then gets pretty
And
much
stored indoors until it,
correct, yeah.
Do you operate a local garbage collection?
Yes, I do, yeah,
So you contract with me as a homeowner to pick up my garbage,
correct, yeah,
and that's what you're bringing to this site?
correct, yeah.
That contains all sorts of stuff, not hazardous material.
Right, we don't take any hazardous materials, strictly household waste. Stuff that you buy from your grocery store. Like I think in the last meeting I was trying to explain, this is the finished product of the beginning of the food chain. We all have to eat, And that, all that food products, someone's gotta handle it and process it. And that's where I sit here today.
How do you handle instances where somebody rents a roll-off from you for house cleanup? They throw material in their batteries, things like that. They're buried in there, you don't know it until you start dumping it. How do you handle that?
Well, then I'll repackage those batteries up, papalize them, put it back in the truck, and I ship it to the guy who handles that.
Okay. What about oils or Freon or anything? Somebody throws a small refrigerator in there. Buried.
Same thing, we'll take it off, repackage, papalize it, and ship it back out. Any kind of hazardous materials, asbestos, anything like that, we're not gonna deal in. We're dealing strictly in household trash, recyclable materials.
And how long would storage on site be for that? Say you get in 2 dumpsters, it's a slow day, you only get in 2 dumpsters. Out comes a battery. You're gonna hold that battery until, obviously,
Well, you wanna get at least,
for it.
yeah, you wanna get at least 4 or 5 batteries to ship them out and make it worth. Typically, when a guy goes back into Milford, there's a guy that I deal with there, he buys the batteries,
Mhm.
and we're in the Milford area 3 or 4 times a week.
Okay.
So that guy can ship that battery out really the very next morning.
Where does this refuse originate? From what area?
Right here from Weare, it's all over.
Yeah?
We service
New
28 communities.
Hampshire? All New Hampshire?
Well, we're in 28 communities, you know, we're in Dunbarton, we're in Weare, we're in Goffstown, we're in New Boston, Milford, Allenstown.
But it is all New Hampshire.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Do you handle commercial, industrial?
No, just strictly curbside, and
Yeah.
we handle, like I said, the small contractors, the homeowners, clean outs, roofing.
Why don't we hear from the public and then we can ask some more questions after?
Sure. This must be what everybody's waiting for. Any comments from the public?
None?
They just wanted a good show tonight.
There's nothing on television?
Channel 6 must be down.
The only thing else we have is cutting trees on scenic roads, you guys realize,
Chip's not
right?
here, so we're
Okay.
doing Chip's job from the
Okay.
back.
Yeah.
I thought I led a boring life.
You in particular.
Roads don't start till 10:30.
Oh, okay. Hearing
Let's
none,
bring the beer, I mean, what the
Sorry.
heck?
hearing none, I'll close the public hearing.
When you do the curbside pickup, is it all going into one container, or do they separate out the recyclables for you?
Typically, the homeowners, they bag up their commingle in the newspaper and their cardboard, well, that's somewhat loose. And we try to separate the best we can on the trucks. That's why it's important if we have the building, we can separate it even more, as far as, separating the commodities out.
Do you always dump the whole load, including recyclables and trash, in the
Well-
building before you sort them?
What we'll do in this instance, we'll probably back in the truck, the guys they're gonna kick off as much as they can of the recyclable materials, and then they'll dump out the rest. Yeah. And we'll, have a little bobcat in there, and we'll spread it out, separate it out even more.
But when you dump out the rest, as you say, you're anticipating that the garbage and trash will also have recyclables in it? Is that why you do that?
Well, some of it will, Yeah, we're not gonna rip open your bag and pop through everything, we're not gonna be doing that.
So, the stuff that you can't sell, that you have to take to a landfill or wheelabrator or whatever, you compact that on site,
That'll get compacted, baled up. Mhm.
and you have to pay to have that burned or whatever.
Yeah, I'll go bring up the wheelabrator, and,
And where are they located?
they got one in Claremont, and they got one right in Pennacook.
So you
just
would
on the
bring
other
this to
side of town.
Pennacook?
Correct, yeah.
And what size truck carries that out?
Well, that's what's nice about the baler. I can actually package that truck back onto a box truck, and I can ship it right out in a box truck, or I can put it in a roll-off container and ship it as well. Or I can actually have a trailer come in. They do runs in New England. They can come in, and I can throw it on their trailer as well, and then scale it out.
How many trucks are going to be coming in and out a day? How many trips?
Well, I would say,
Maximum. Business is great, maximum number of trucks.
well, it's hard, I haven't been there yet, but when I started the business back in '07, it's when the economy was, tanking down, so we're kinda hopefully coming out of that. I would say 12 to 15.
Mostly box trucks.
Yeah, and then a few of the, yeah.
Are residents gonna be coming to your facility to bring you material?
No.
Okay.
So if I have a load of iron, I can't sell it to you.
I wish I could, yeah, I would wish to, but no, at this point, no. No.
Let's get that.
Going.
That's up on River Road, he's closer.
Yeah.
You're not gonna get that much paper gas to get over.
He won't take iron anyway.
That's right.
That's right.
All right.
You really don't show any specific locations of where you're storing different things outside, which generally it doesn't really matter, but what I'm thinking about is, once you dump a dumpster, sweep it out inside the building, if you could, you haven't washed the dumpster out or anything yet, it's just broom clean.
Right, room swept.
Is there any way you could show where they would be on here and keep those kind of together, so that if anything, if we did get a hard rain, they would scatter all over?
Oh, on the dumpsters?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're probably gonna be parked currently where they were previously from the previous owners on their plan. I don't know if you have that, Mike, or not.
I don't.
No.
Up here, it
Do you have
says,
it, Tammy, in your?
equipment storage, existing civil service work yard and equipment storage.
Yeah, I don't think if we could demarcate an area where we're gonna put those
Okay.
semi-clean dumpsters,
Gotcha.
so they're all together.
Yeah, it didn't show it on.
Well,
In the easement area, I see.
Oh, well,
Under the power line.
Yeah, under the power line, I see.
yeah,
yeah, right there underneath the power
I
line.
think that's the best spot.
Yeah.
Just that way, if something, we did get a perfect downpour, and all of a sudden you go into it spotless, maybe you know the area that you'd have to clean up a little bit if you needed to,
Right.
so that, you know, when we scatter all over the yard.
So I don't know if you guys, if you looked at this picture here, but it kind of shows you, let me show you. See how it's, it comes in loose
Usually bailed up.
and gets built up and gets shipped out. You know, same process. This is a plant down in Wilmington, Massachusetts. The problem here with the state of New Hampshire, we're running out of facilities that a lot of us haulers are gonna haul down to Massachusetts. And it's making it hard for us New Hampshire businesses to survive. So if we can be able to bring this back home and process ourselves, keep it right here, you know?
You know, I think you explained this, but I'd like to hear it one more time. The empty dumpsters, which are broom clean, are taken out on the pad. I guess they're on gravel or are they on?
Cement.
They're on the cement, huh?
Yeah.
And rain, I guess, would be the major problem. I mean, obviously, there's gonna be, could be quite a bit of water in those.
It could, but usually typically when you pick them up from wherever the location that you're actually picking them up, as you're picking them up, the driver typically will let them drain out. So you're gonna get a good 90% of that water, if not more.
Yeah, but I mean, you're gonna add water as you put them out on your, store them on your pad, and it's gonna rain on them again, right?
Did you say you have a concrete pad outside?
No, there's a pad, the cement pad's inside the warehouse.
Yeah, no, there's no concrete.
Okay, but I thought Chuck said you're gonna
Yeah,
dump
so
them and then you're gonna store
You're
them
gonna take them outside
outside
and store them.
on the compacted gravel. You said-
Yeah, it's gonna be on the gravel.
Okay,
Right.
but I thought you said no on the concrete. Okay, never mind.
So, if it rains, then, I mean, we're gonna add water to that particular dumpster, or dumpsters, right?
Yeah.
And, I mean, that water, I mean, broom clean is fine, but it certainly is going to, seems to me at least, it would contaminate the area where they're stored substantially eventually.
Well, they're gonna be, like I said, they're gonna be in constant movement, so they're not gonna be like sitting around 24/7 for like months on end. And these containers do have plugs in them as well, so if the plugs are drained, as the water hits the container, it's gonna drain out.
Yeah, but those are
I mean,
less than
that's not
perfect.
an
on those ones.
aquifer.
Right, yeah.
Well, yeah, but it's gonna drain, yeah, I think it's Chuck's point. It has a plug in, it's gonna drain out on the aquifer. So whatever residue is inside the dumpster, whether it's
Right.
coffee grounds or
Gravel.
battery acid or antifreeze or whatever, it's gonna get diluted and washed out in the rain/snow,
Right.
melt out the plug on the ground over the
You're
aquifer.
sitting over, you're 4 feet over an aquifer crack.
No.
No,
How far deep is it?
The groundwater that we designed a septic on is probably within 4 to 6 feet of the ground surface. The aquifer is probably down 300, 400, 500 feet. It's not the same water table.
The water table is down at just a few feet.
The
The
seasonal high.
seasonal high water table,
Yeah.
Yes.
But that's
they're
usually,
not the same thing.
that's usually what they
No,
call a
okay.
perched water table, or something down there holding it up.
Right.
It's not necessarily water coming up from underneath.
No, it's
You're
not.
not gonna, you're not gonna dig a well 2 feet deep and get water out here for your well.
No, but I hear what you're saying, Mike, but I'm concerned that we drink this water, the
I understand.
400 to 500 foot down water. And the concern is that if his broom clean units are on the surface and they collect water, and there's a little bit of battery acid that the broom clean didn't get out, a little bit of Freon, a little bit of gasoline, a little bit of whatever, that's going indirectly, but ultimately down to the aquifer. Is that not what's going to happen?
Well, potentially, that could happen in anybody's yard in the entire industrial park.
But this proposal is to bring in a lot of material that's going to be recycled, 12 to 15 truckloads or
Well,
6 coming in and out. And the concern is that, not intentionally, but as a result of the ordinary operation of the business, there's going to be a lot of dirty water that ultimately winds its way into the aquifer. And we're trying to, or I'd like to see that minimized, and I'm not sure how to do it, but that's the concern.
Concrete basin.
Well, one thing would be a roof over where you store those units. If you had them just under a shed or something, no water, no additional water at least would get
Right,
in
like
there.
put up like a pole barn or something, of some
Yeah.
sort, I guess.
Then you're gonna have, okay,
More impervious.
You have-
Yeah.
more impervious, right?
Yeah.
Which can be handled, but
Do these dumpsters have impervious covers on them?
No,
No.
covers around the truck that hauls them.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing is, I'm thinking, I have a dumpster at my facility, which isn't property yet, and I know what goes in it. I mean, it's not always, even you can broom clean it, but in the
Right.
summertime especially, like you mentioned that, I guess, it certainly is less than desirable. And just to think that
Well-
that's draining out onto the ground, and rather I mean, we've got a fairly substantial proposal here.
Mhm.
It's gonna be ongoing and substantial for, who knows how long.
Right.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but most of those roll-off dumpsters are for like house cleanouts and.
House cleanouts, contractors, yeah.
It's not
Those aren't the household.
putrescible waste. It's
Not
not,
from households?
not,
No, that's not the household.
not the same, the household stuff he brings in, they pick up at the curb, it goes in the box truck, gets dumped directly inside. The dumpsters take like building waste, and if someone throws in a bag of garbage out of their work truck, I don't think it's the same content.
There are no liquids that go in those
Well,
dumpsters?
there may be some, but when he dumps it inside and then he broom cleans it, maybe he has to have the process where he puts that, that kitty litter stuff, whatever you call that, to soak it up, and then he has to take care of that inside.
so we're
I don't
talking,
think that the roll-off dumpsters, I don't think that they take large amounts
They
of
don't
household waste.
contain a lot of rubbish, you say.
I don't think they take,
It's waste.
I don't think it's household waste.
How many of those open top dumpsters do you have?
Right now I have 30, and currently, right now, I have sitting in my yard, throughout the winter, it's probably between 10 and 12.
And those are all open top, there's no plastic lid on them?
Correct, yeah. But they rotate in, they rotate out. Like come April, I'll be fighting to keep them in.
so you're just talking about Joe Blow's building a house, so you're gonna put a dumpster there so he can throw all his
Right, it's wood, scrap materials.
whatever.
Right,
And
yeah.
then Joe Blow's contractor has a gallon of water, at the end of the day, he throws a half a gallon of water in a dumpster, because he only drank half a gallon of water that day.
Right.
That's the liquid you're
Right,
talking
yeah,
about.
or another gentleman's, doing a house clean out, getting rid of some furniture, sofa, bed,
Let me.
And how about a couple of gallons of paint?
I was gonna say, the problem's gonna be the couple gallons of paint.
Right. Well,
I mean, so I've seen it where people have rented roll-off dumpsters to do hoarding cleanouts.
Right.
They're throwing
Oh, yeah.
everything in there, including
Right, I can only-
contents of refrigerators. And I think that's the concern is, yeah, you'll clean it out, it'll sit outside. Worst case scenario, it sits outside there for a week, it downpours, all the water's collecting in there. hasn't drained out, but the second you pick it up with a roll-off, it's all going out the back end.
Correct, yep.
And I think that's what everybody's trying to avoid or alleviate.
If you take these dumpsters somewhere when they were dirty, instead of getting broom clean, if you could rinse them out somewhere, that would be a lot better.
But it's not gonna be clean until he gets to the site.
I'm
And he's gonna
saying,
haul him someplace to clean them and bring it
No,
back
but if he's gonna keep it there and put it in his yard,
for 2 days.
I don't know, I don't know.
I don't know the solution either. I'm just saying it doesn't make sense to have a facility where you're gonna be able to store a dumpster for 2 days, but we're gonna force them to take it off, take it to Goffstown, just so it's outside of Weare, and wash out the dumpster and bring it back again.
Well, why would,
Sure.
why would he not be able to build just a quick wash facility there with the storage tank?
Where's the water gonna go from the wash
We
facility?
have if we had a central sewer system, the government.
Oh my God, now you're talking about
Yeah.
groundwater discharge.
Yeah, we don't wanna go there.
And monitoring wells.
No, 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 no.
I don't think we're not there, I don't think we're there, it's not, he's not a hazardous waste hauler.
No, but he's going to be getting some stuff that we really don't want to go into the aquifer.
No, I understand, and I think there's
I mean, you
I think-
can
I think-
grab some, come up with some language
Make it
where
work.
these dumpsters that contain any, I don't know what the language is, Mike, but if it's more than dust, like drywall dust or something like that, that it needs to be like hosed out before it's kept on site.
What if the air blew?
I mean, if he's dumping it
Do that
out
too.
and he's
Yeah, well.
pulling it right in the truck and he's dropping it off to another site, you know, to
so
collect
like if
the
this
trash.
dumpster's gonna sit there for more than a day or two,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Then there's gonna be a set procedure that he comes up with that I put on paper. And basically, it's just a quick clean, but we can't wash them on site.
No, I know. I don't want to wash them on
That's
site.
not,
That's the last thing we want to
Yeah.
that's the last thing we want.
Yeah, we definitely don't
I
wanna
think
wash
you
it.
wanna let it sit out in the sun and let it bake on.
Does anybody make a cover for these dumpsters?
Rain for 3 days.
They don't, no. And it would get too costly to put, permanent covers on every container, and they would get destroyed.
I wasn't thinking when you sent them out, but just when you were storing them in your yard.
I could
Say
look
you put
into
a-
that.
Say, and I'm not suggesting this is a good idea, but say,
Right.
for example, you bought a tarp.
Yeah.
One of those blue tarps.
Yeah.
And there was some way to attach it so that it would, in effect, be a roof. And
Yeah.
were there a
When
storm.
you get a lot of rain, they do this, all the water ends up in there.
Yeah.
I understand that.
Shrink wrap them like a boat.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe not.
Yeah, but if you do like that gentleman said, it will.
They do that, I'm opening a shrink wrapping
Me
business.
too. How many dumpsters are you gonna store on site, you think?
Like I said, right now during my slow season,
Right.
10 to 12, is typically what I'm seeing.
But you said 30.
30 is what I have total, but
As
they're
of- as of
constant.
today.
As of today, but that's what they're constantly rotating. Like April is usually when the doors open up and I get wicked busy.
July 1st, try to get one.
So from April to about Thanksgiving, we're pretty straight out. I mean, I might have a few here and there, but they usually
How
go right
many
back
yards
up.
are they?
Excuse me?
Are they all the same size?
I got 10, 12s, 15s, and 20s. The sizes.
So what size is a 20-yard?
20-yarder is 14 feet long, 8 feet wide, a little over 5 feet tall.
We're really just looking, I mean, everything else sounds fine except what happens with the semi-clean dumpsters outside.
Right. The only thing I can do is, like I said, sweep, broom them. Blow them out with an air gun.
What happens if there in fact is liquid in there? There's a spill, can of paint goes, the refrigerator breaks, and
Well,
there's,
most of that's gonna get dumped in the building.
I'm sorry?
Most of it's gonna get dumped in the building.
Well, what does he do with it in the building?
Well,
It will get contained and it will get repackaged and shipped
Okay.
out.
And now you have
Six-
whatever drip-
Basically, just like you probably do at your town, at your local train station when it comes in. You got the Freon items come in, your hazardous material comes in, your supervisor over there handles, takes that product, palletizes it, puts it in a certain destination, and it gets shipped out. We're gonna handle that the same way.
I don't know what to do at the transfer station.
That's what household
Throw
hazardous waste
one
is.
thing over there, dump thing over here, dump thing over here. I leave.
Switching gears real quick, on the building there's an existing sign, however, note 14 says there's no signs proposed. Whatever signs there you're going to change to your business?
There are, no new, well, no
You're-
additional signs.
But you're gonna change the sign.
For the sign.
But that's not any of our business.
No, it's a sign.
I wanna make sure that we weren't adding anything
Right.
out of the street. I just wanna make sure that wasn't a typo.
Yeah.
Has the Conservation Commission?
No, they did not say that.
They haven't got it.
No.
Well, they got it. I submitted this before Frank's.
Oh, they got it, they just no response.
I
Yeah.
don't have a response. Well, you're making fun of me. Who is that?
That's the Conservation Commission.
How do you know that?
Andy Fool.
Well,
Oh,
it's
there's two
also,
in,
it's also
yeah.
Public Works, it's also
Yeah.
Fireworks, everybody.
Yep.
And somebody wrote down no objection with some initials, it says 21317, but I don't know what the initial
Oh, I
was.
see.
It's something,
Nobody
I
responded.
don't know who.
That's supposed to get moved out. It's supposed to get taken out this week, I'm hoping.
At one point, didn't you tell us you were gonna be building or repairing dumpsters?
The previous owner was a container repair shop. He repaired.
You're doing none of that?
None of that.
Okay. Ready for motion, Mr. Chairman?
I wanna see the, I wanna see the floor.
You wanna see the floor?
I wanna see the floor. I wanna do a sidewalk inside the building.
Okay.
That'll give us time to come up with this procedure.
I wanna know if there are floor drains, if there aren't floor drains, or if there was floor drains, are they plugged and sealed? Kinda take an eyeball guess at which way the floor slopes and make sure it doesn't slope it outside, so all the stuff he dumps isn't gonna run outside. Little things like that. Could he put some kind of lip in there and seal it so that if stuff does dump, it doesn't flow outside? Silly little thing.
And when are we doing the sidewalk, sir?
I didn't say we're doing a sidewalk. I said I wanted to see inside.
Okay. Then do you want a motion to continue this till next month?
When would be a good time for everybody, since you brought up the sidewalk? April's fishing season, by the way, remember that. Hey, it's important dates, you know? I don't want anybody to be able to miss
We haven't
it.
got to March yet.
Next couple of weeks of Bruce healing season, so.
So this, are you saying this Saturday doesn't work?
That's right, no, I'm saying it doesn't work.
Bruce says it doesn't work.
Just pick a day of the week and we'll see.
I was gonna say, it stays daylight later now, you know?
Well, the 8th and the 14th are bad for me.
How about the 1st?
I can't make that.
Day of the week.
That's a Wednesday.
Oh, that's interesting.
It doesn't matter what day of the week.
How about the 8th?
Not all of us have to be there.
No, I'm just trying to get more than me.
I won't be there.
I could probably do the 8th.
9th before the planning board meeting.
Yeah, that's fine too.
Yeah, I should be able to do that.
Yeah, that would be better. Then 8th is when we're having the candidates nights
Oh, yeah.
at the town hall.
So we can do the 9th at, say, 6 o'clock, even though it's dark, we can see inside. Hopefully we can get inside and flip the light switch.
So you have to get hold of the owner. See if you can.
We're doing a candidates night after the election?
Election's
Election's on
14th.
the 14th.
Second Thursday.
But I thought he was
Not
talking about
running,
it,
you know.
is he talking about March or April?
I'm talking March.
Oh, okay. Jeez. I knew you guys were,
You would have missed the candidates night.
I would have missed the vote too. Okay.
We
So-
don't want that.
March 9th?
March 9th at 6 o'clock.
It's the second building in the road?
Just
Yeah, second or third on the left, yeah.
Yeah.
Second on the left.
It's the second.
It's the old
It's a
Maryland.
past-
It's March 8th for the
The
candidates?
Past
old
year.
Merrill building?
Yeah.
Yeah.
past Jerry Haynes and our left, yeah.
Mr. Chairman, would you like a motion to continue
Please.
till the 23rd of March, 2017?
Thank you. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
That's your job.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Gentlemen,
Opposed?
thank you. Have a good night.
Thank you.
Sorry for the
So-
delay.
So if for some reason the owner can't get us in March 9th, you will let Chip know so we can
Yeah,
do
yeah, I'll get
something.
ahold of him tomorrow. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, if I can find it. I think I just lost my agenda. We were down to tree cutting on scenic roads, I think.
Yes, that is correct.
Thank you. That's why everybody's here.
They all left.
No, Chip hired us to be just
Oh,
to the
okay.
furry eyeball. I'm just saying, you know,
So you get paid for this?
take it up in beer.
No, she said Chip hired him, he didn't say anything about money.
Yeah, those words,
Good
Chip
point.
hired, yeah, not.
Chip gets paid in cookies sometimes too, I hear. Yes, sir.
My name's Rick Sullivan. I'm the arborist for Eversource, and we're doing quite a bit of work in town this year. And we're planning on doing tree trimming and tree removals on scenic roads in town. So we've given you guys a list of our proposed tree removals.
Hold on a second, you might have it.
I got some extras.
I didn't see a folder here about that. Subdivision, farmer, site plan, subdivision.
Probably still on Chip's desk.
There's a couple lists. I don't have enough copies for everyone, but Mount Dearborn seems to have the most trees.
I heard somebody look at that list.
On the second
You
page.
want me to go make copies, Fred?
On the second page, we've got Duck Pond, Tiffany Hill, and I think one tree on West Quaker.
He cut Tiffany Hill like 3 years ago.
Just put a hold on the spot.
Well, every 4 years, we're back on cycle. That's our current goal, is to trim a given town, a given circuit every 4 years. So,
Is this related to the same note that I received from Asplund for tree cutting on my road on Walker Road?
Yep.
No,
mhm.
no, that's just,
Beach don't do a good job either.
they're probably gonna attempt to plant some trees close to your lot line, so.
That's me.
I'm nowhere near any of those
Oh, I
roads.
know, but they notify you
Okay.
when they're on your street,
Yeah,
essentially.
in addition to the scenic roads, we're trimming about 140 plus miles in town. So it's
Okay, so this is just specifically for scenic.
140 miles of road? I hope not.
Well,
We don't have
all
that
the
many-
driveway taps, no, all the driveway taps and off-road that we have, we're trimming that as well. But there's, pretty much all the roadside lines this
You
year.
count each side of the road as half, as,
No, but all of our off-road,
I thought we only had 73 miles of road in town.
No, we got more than that, 110, 111 total.
Okay.
and then we have all those long driveway taps that all that miles, all those
Okay,
miles.
so you're
add up.
trimming up to the house drops and all?
We're gonna come right to my house.
All wherever we have primary
I
lines,
don't wanna lose a water.
up to the transformers, and then the secondary lines are not trimmed on a schedule like the primary lines.
Which one of these is Mrs. Walker's tree?
Do
It's
we
about
know
a
Mrs.
14
Walker's
inch,
tree?
it's a 14-inch ash or oak, I'm not sure.
First one,
maybe
what's the-
16.
you know her address?
Yeah, it's,
The address is listed there. Is it on Mount Dearborn?
yes, she's well, you have no number.
Just pull them.
Yeah, they got the address here.
Yeah, but they got numbers on some and not on others.
Yeah, there's one.
Okay. There was one tree where I think this gentleman said that it had been nicked by a truck over many years, but was solid and didn't have to come down.
Okay,
But as a precautionary, he did, and I would like to see if you could save that tree.
okay.
Maybe in 4 years, it really needs to come down. It's on the south side. You come over if you're coming from the church over the crest of the hill, it's on your left side as you're going, I guess, northwest. Road basically is northeast.
On the downhill side of the hill?
Yeah, it's on the downhill side.
Have these been marked with some flagging or something?
They've
Yes.
been marked with the orange ribbon. Yep.
So if you wanna take a
Your
ride,
telephone pole,
I don't know.
Tiffany Hill Road, all the trees that are coming down have been,
It's
Mhm.
an ash tree?
Sometimes
It's an ash or no?
some
It's a
people
very- it's
take
a very
ribbons
large
off,
tree.
but,
It's, I don't know, maybe 16.
most of them should be ribbons still.
this, you have flag.
We get consent from the abutting home property owner as well for all of our removals. And one of the columns there, you could see the Ys indicate where the property, the abutting property owner is.
Can I ask you what that meant?
They are agreeable to us removing the tree.
And I know that I'm on this list, but I want to congratulate Eversource and you folks once again, because you do this frequently over the decades, that you're pretty good about working out arrangements with homeowners. You're
Mhm.
not absolutists, you're
Right,
reasonable
right.
people, and I appreciate it.
It's a delicate balance. We want clearance around the wires, but we want to keep our customers happy too, so.
No, on the permission, the blank columns, does that mean you got a no, or does that mean no answer?
No answer yet, and if it was a no, would we put an N in there?
Well,
I really just left it blank if there was no response,
Yeah.
but we'd be continually putting forth effort to permission those blank trees.
My only complaint is when you did Advisory Bridge Road 3 years ago, or whatever it was, you told me you were gonna cut down a dead ash on my property, and you didn't cut it down. The orange ribbon's still there, and it still bugs me, all right? The tree's still dead.
Where is it?
No, don't worry about it.
Hardwood link?
Well, I've got two of those.
The tree's still dead? Great.
You got a tree still dead?
Has it come
Yeah,
back?
ash trees are a
Oh,
huge
they're
problem for us,
Oh,
and
okay.
they will be for all of our towns in the near future. It's just gonna get worse for the next 5 years, and we have to prioritize and do the ones that matter the most at first, and
Now, on the forms that come out, I think the cards that come to the homeowner, not for the scenic, general, from Ashland.
Yep.
They don't have any place on there to say no. They have a place to say, I want a conference,
I got
Yep.
a thing to fill out for.
or they have a place to say, if you don't contact us at all, we're gonna cut it down anyways.
Right.
This is only seen-
There's
no,
no
it's
option
seen-
of.
Oh, you don't get all things.
right.
No, it doesn't tell you what trees it want to take.
I mean, they're very nice, the guy came over and, you
That's
know, it's
wonderful.
not a big deal.
Yeah.
It's just the way that the form is if somebody puts it aside, forgets about it, the tree comes down.
Well, we wouldn't do a removal without a signed consent form, but trimming, if we don't hear from someone for 45 days, the state law says, in a lake community or where there's not easy to contact owners, if no one gets back to us in 45 days, we assume that there's consent there.
So that's a state law.
Tom, may I suggest next time you just take a big pen and write N-O on the form and send it back. Even though it's not on there, they will understand.
Yeah,
Is that
and
legally
if you
binding?
request a consult or call the
No, no,
Aswan
he's not-
contractor.
He's not requesting a consult. What he wants to do
He
is to
just
say
says
no.
Yep.
And the console is fine, and the little trimming is not a big deal in this case, but it's just the concept of having no way on the form to say no.
That's by design probably, by people higher up than me, but really, we want clearance. Clearance around the wires is better reliability, better safety. That's what we
I
sell.
will say it has been nice not losing power the last couple of years with the storms.
Yep.
Now, my concern was, in my property, it's not gonna happen because it's just a few little branches, but you see some areas where there's a tree in front of somebody's house and it's like half gone.
Mhm.
It's not quite as decorative that way.
Yeah.
Big V tree?
No, you have one whole side that's just been eliminated on the tree,
For our,
but the tree still stands there.
right, that does happen. Trees grow towards the light, and then the wires are often between the trees and the streets, between the trees and the light, and we have to take off that newer.
Is this a public
I'm not sure,
hearing?
because I've just had an audience.
Yeah, oh
And
yeah.
there's something in the-
Are you looking for some sort of action on the part of the board, or are you just notifying us?
Well, in terms of scenic roads, we want your permission to do the trimming and removals on these scenic roads.
Yes, I saw that.
Is this noticed as a public hearing for this, Craig?
Yes,
So this is considered a public hearing?
yes.
But we are not giving you permission to cut where a blank occurs on the permission section,
No.
is that correct?
No, we wouldn't do
We're only
that.
recommending that you cut where the landowner in effect has said yes.
Where we have a budding property owner consent,
Right.
where the Ys are.
Thank you.
Yep.
And is this something that we recommend to the selectmen,
That's okay.
or is this something,
Does anybody have their RSA book?
yeah,
It's in there. I need approval from the planning board, I need approval from the selectmen, I don't know
Glad you're
which one.
okay.
And I left my book. You
do you
got
know
it?
which section of the RSA requires you to be here?
231, 158.
Before we take a vote, do I have to be appointed? a
I
voting
can't
member?
because you left in the middle of the meeting.
Gotcha, okay.
Middle of agenda, hearing.
You did? For this hearing?
No,
Chuck.
Chuck just
Check
left.
this one.
Chuck,
Person sitting next to you, he's gone.
He was here the whole time.
oh, that's true, yeah, it's the other way around, yeah. John's your buzz now. It's the other way around.
Alas, that's why he was sitting in the.
I can't do three things at one time, okay?
Jeff, that's what Chip sent us.
Complain to my boss, all right? I don't even know who that is. Whoever, nobody signs my paycheck, so I don't need to worry about that.
Above your pay
Don't be
grade.
looking for a signature.
Except with prior written consent of the planning board, or any other official municipal body designated by the meeting. So he needs our approval.
He's written consent. When are you gonna do this, Tony?
We're in town now, but not on the scenic roads.
One of your trucks was on Mount Dearborn today, cutting,
Cutting on Mount
right near
Dearborn.
the church.
That wouldn't necessarily be tree removal.
Well, they shouldn't be trimming either,
Really?
so, yeah. No, it's, we're supposed to have this meeting before they trim,
It
so
may have
I,
been something else, but it was an Asplin truck with guys and signs on the road and somebody directing traffic.
could it have been on not on a driveway tab? It was on,
It was parked in front of a driveway,
Mhm.
but
They were trimming 149 yesterday.
you want a motion?
Yes. If you want it in writing, I'll sign something.
if you could sign that form there, that it's okay to,
I move that,
Look like a motion.
I move that the planning board approve the proposal from Eversource with respect to trimming and removing trees and brush adjacent to and beneath some of its power lines along the following scenic roads in Weare: Mount Dearborn Road, Duck Pond Road, Nichols Road, Tiffany Hill Road, and West Quaker Road.
Second.
Discussion. Now, you're referring to the trees only marked Y on this spreadsheet, correct?
Yes, thank you for correcting the motion.
Which is attached to a letter dated January 10th, 2017.
if we get a Y, if we get consent from other homeowners after today, can we remove those trees?
Yes.
All in favor?
Aye.
Who seconded?
Discussion, all.
We've already had the motion.
Aye. Nays?
Abstain? No.
Same? No? Okay.
I hope you gentlemen enjoyed your experience here tonight, and it's still before 10:30.
That's great. Want another copy?
No?
Okay.
So I got one, huh?
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So now we have an upset public member who's gonna bring something to our attention.
No, but.
No, but.
Seeing that we
Don't
mentioned
give her an
that.
opportunity.
No.
Well, she might be complaining about the
Can we-
vice chair.
Okay, as.
Where's your foot?
As.
Wait, is it public comment time?
Yes.
Oh, okay, just making sure.
Only if you're gonna complain
Are
about the
we
vice
doing
chair.
minutes, or can I move to adjourn?
Well, let's do the sidewalk minutes.
I move to approve Yeah, let's approve those. And even though I wasn't there, they're really good minutes.
They are, I like it, I wasn't there either.
I move to approve the minutes of February 11th with respect to a site walk on tax map 412-170-2 and 202-103.
Discussion.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye. So Tina,
Yes,
since
Craig.
since somebody brought up minutes,
We have 3 sets of them. December 8th, January 12th, and January 26th.
Have you read those? Are you ready to comment with the normal thoroughness?
no,
Because if you're not.
Why,
we're not-
yes, I am.
We're not, if you're not, we shouldn't do
no,
this.
no, I'm not. I just have them printed out and then didn't look at them, so no, I'm not.
Okay, so let's not do it.
What is this stuff?
Mr. Chairman, I move we adjourn.
Can I bring something up?
Question?
Only after we've adjourned.
Okay.
I'd like to bring up a question before we adjourn, if we can.
I got an email on that here someplace.
Yes, master plan is sorely out of date.
The what
Lot
is
of-
that a date?
Huh?
The what is that a date?
Master plan.
Oh, master plan.
And there's a lot of information in there that is used by various committees and townspeople. Really should be updated. Specifically, roads have not been updated since 2005, I believe it was. Police apparatus, fire apparatus, stuff like that.
Is this something that you think would require a contract with Southern New Hampshire? Or is this something that,
I've never been involved, so I can't answer that.
Usually what happens is,
I know there's,
we have usually Southern Planning does it, but we have to like put an item in the budget for it, usually goes in the budget. I know, that's what I'm saying, that's the
well,
point.
at least we can get the ball rolling
Yeah.
though. My concern is looking through the bylaws of the planning board, we're supposed to be doing this, we're supposed to be tackling this section every year. The 3 years I've been here, nothing's jumping out at me that we've done it.
You're wrong.
Okay.
Had George Millette here fighting us to get it done.
Yeah, no, we did something a couple years ago. Don't remember what it was. We revised something.
Southern New Hampshire usually does that, and,
Okay.
head them in the right direction, and then they do it.
Because a lot of towns that I've heard from, they try to update theirs every 10 years approximately.
So-
that's what the statute says?
Yeah, we're way over that.
Yes.
We're not way, we're over that.
Yes, yeah. No, I think it's 7 or 10. something.
So this is something you might want to remind the new selectmen about?
Because we'll have to get someone, if Southern New Hampshire Planning has them go over it and give us a proposal.
Okay.
I would say that's what we should do to get it rolling, is to invite somebody from Southern New Hampshire Planning to come in, tell us what their role would be, how much of that would be covered by the dues that we already pay them, and what the additional cost would be.
That's a good idea.
Because they're the ones that have the expertise on the cost.
Yep, but it's,
Jack Money's replacement to come before us.
I'd just like to get the ball rolling on this, so come next budgetary time, we can have the money ready and all our ducks in a row.
And this sudden interest in updating the master plan
I've brought
came
this-
about because?
No, I've brought this up in the past to
Just that-
our chairman, and he did,
another burr under your saddle?
Yep.
Long-standing burr. 3 years.
no, not that long.
Oh, okay.
I agree.
Ready for a motion?
Something should,
Oh, you already did it.
Yeah, there's a motion to adjourn that was seconded.
Yes, it was seconded.
Who seconded?
I just did.
Okay. Works
All
for
in
me.
favor?
Aye.
Aye.
What do you want?